CrackBerry.com.
Hey everybody, Kevin here for CrackBerry.com with the long-awaited BlackBerry Z10 or Z10 for all you Americans out here. This is the first BlackBerry 10 smartphone from Research in Motion. It is designed for touchscreen use from the ground up. Not one single line of code has made its way from the old BlackBerry experience that we all know into this device. The hardware's all new, the software's all new. It is a brand new BlackBerry experience, re-engineered, reinvented. It keeps the best of the BlackBerry that we knew in the past and adds to it a whole new dimension of BlackBerry. And what's really interesting is that it looks like a BlackBerry despite the fact it's missing, a keyboard. It's missing a trackpad. It's missing all the things that typically make a BlackBerry look like a BlackBerry. So kudos goes to the design team at RIM for managing to basically lose everything that's always been recognized as a BlackBerry and still have it as a device where when you stick it on the table, you can just tell it's a BlackBerry. It's got that understated look, that timeless look, that focus on utility. There's nothing in the design of this device that doesn't have a purpose. I mean, even looking at something like the curves on the end of the phone here, that's not just a design doohickey, right? That's there for a purpose. That's there so when you are playing a game on your device, you're in landscape using it, it feels good. It feels like a gaming controller. That upper curve there, it makes the device much more comfortable when you actually talk on the phone and put it to your ear. It's not just cutting into you. Or the same thing with the bottom. When you slide that phone into your front pocket, it just goes right in. It doesn't get hung up. That slope helps. Everything in this device has a reason. Another thing I'm really loving too is the edge-to-edge glass design they've put on it and this sort of unibody frame or chassis, which was actually something they introduced on the Porsche design BlackBerry, and they took some inspiration from that and applied it to this device. Gives it a great look overall. When it comes to the size of the phone, 4.2 inches, that was a very specific decision by Research in Motion and BlackBerry. They could have went bigger, they could have went smaller. And they picked 4.2 inches because it's really the perfect compromise between one-handed ease of use and two-handed ease of use. When you think about BlackBerry users, they love to type on two hands, myself included. And if your keyboard is too tight, like let's say on an iPhone where it's a little bit smaller device, you're sort of forced to be a one-thumb typer. You can, if you have small enough hands, you can get in there, but it's not comfortable. And BlackBerry users are used to having a comfortable keyboard. So by going 4.2 inches, there's ample room to get two thumbs on the device and really type fast. But at the same time, it's still a phone that is usable with one hand. Whereas if you look at what is happening sort of on the Android side of things, where everybody wants to go bigger and bigger and bigger with their displays, it becomes the kind of phone where reaching over to the left side of the keyboard gets hard, reaching up gets very difficult. And on a device like this, it's just kind of comical, right? That's no longer a phone that you're going to be using one-handed very easily. Other specs on the phone, RIM has really, done a good job, right? The processor's 1.5 gigahertz, dual core. The chipset's going to vary based on where in the world you're buying the device. It varies from carrier to carrier. It has LTE, of course, here. Under the phone, RIM has given us a removable battery door. So if your battery goes dead, you can always swap in a new battery. It's an 1800 milliamp battery. There is expandable storage, so there's 16 gigs baked into the device of memory, and you can put your cards in. There's support for 32 gigabytes, but we've actually put a 64 gig in here and formatted it, and it worked okay. You'll notice on the battery door this sort of antenna and these two connectors, which connect back to here. That's for your NFC or near field communication support. So that enables things like bump and tap for pairing devices or sharing contacts. If you bring two phones together, you can add each other to BBM in literally a tap. On the media side, the display itself at 4.2 inches is very high resolution. It's actually 356 dpi at a 1280 by 768 resolution, which is more than iPhone and their Retina display. So it's a very bright display. Cameras are great. It's 8 megapixels on the back, 1080p video recording. There is a front-facing video camera. So if you get something like a BBM video chat coming through, you will be able to use the front of the device for that. And that that's 2 megapixels and 720p on that. Overall, it really has everything you'd expect. Otherwise, GPS is there, obviously. It's got Bluetooth 4.0 support, Wi-Fi ABGN enabled. It has mobile hotspot on it, and all the sensors you'd want there too: accelerometer, magnometer, proximity sensors, gyroscope, the ambient light sensors. It's not lacking for anything. And the design itself, like I said, it's all geared for touch use. There isn't even a button on the home screen to come back to, because you don't need one. When you're in an app and you want to come home, you just swipe up. And we'll be taking a long look at the BlackBerry 10 operating system. But I just wanted to give you a look at some of the hardware design features that really go into making this new BlackBerry 10 recognizable as a BlackBerry, even though it really is a new era for BlackBerry and a new look altogether in the full touchscreen race.